In the corridors of Moscow's Ministry of Defense, history was being written. A table, 4 chairs, and a vision that could change the balance of power across continents. For the first time ever, the defense ministers of Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, the Alliance of Sahel States, sat down, face-to-face, with Russia's Minister of Defense, Andrei Belousov. What followed was more than just a meeting. It was the birth of a new security era. The world is shifting. The Sahel, once seen by outsiders as a vulnerable strip of land, is now forging its own destiny. The AES, led by Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, has already turned heads by rejecting military dependency on the West, by building joint security forces, and by standing shoulder to shoulder against terrorism and exploitation. But now, the stakes are higher. From Ouagadougou to Bamako, from Niamey to Moscow, leaders are asking the same question. How do we secure our nations on our own terms? This meeting in Moscow was not just symbolic, it was strategic. When Andrei Belousov welcomed the AES delegation, he didn't speak as a distant observer. He spoke as a partner. He called the quadripartite dialogue an important framework, a platform to strengthen defense partnerships, exchange military expertise, and create a united front against common threats. From the Malian side, Army General Sadio Komara made it clear. The defense partnership is the most important area of cooperation between Russia and the AES. These were not empty words. They were a declaration of intent, a roadmap for action. By the end of the talks, pens were put to paper. A joint declaration was signed. Memoranda of understanding were agreed upon between the Russian Defense Ministry and the Confederation of Sahel States. What does this mean? It means shared military training programs. It means the possibility of joint exercises between AES and Russian forces. It means new channels for defense technology transfer, from surveillance drones to advanced communication systems. It means the Sahel is no longer standing alone. For decades, African defense talks with global powers were one-sided, dictated by aid conditions, hidden agendas, and unequal treaties. But here, in Moscow, the tone was different. The AES came as equals. No begging bowl. No, please help us. Instead, here is what we need. Here is what we will contribute. Here is how we will defend our nations together. It was a reminder that sovereignty is not just about political speeches. It is about the ability to protect your borders, your skies, your people, without asking permission. Let's be clear, this partnership is not just about Russia and the AES. It is about Africa's place in a rapidly changing world. From BRICS expansion to the rise of multipolar alliances, nations are realizing they no longer have to choose between being exploited or being ignored. By aligning with Russia in defense matters, the AES is signaling that Africa will engage on its own terms. No more client-state politics. No more waiting for approval from former colonial powers. And this message is echoing beyond the Sahel, in West Africa, Central Africa, and even across the oceans to the African diaspora. Of course, this new defense chapter will face challenges. Sanctions. Media campaigns to discredit the partnership. Pressure from powerful capitals that fear a united Sahel backed by Russian technology. But the AES has shown resilience before. They've survived military coups, foreign troop withdrawals, and relentless terrorist threats. Now, with new defense agreements, they are building capacity, not dependency. As Captain Ibrahim Traoré of Burkina Faso once said, we must be the authors of our own security. If we depend on others for our safety, we are not free. Picture this. Joint AES-Russian patrols monitoring Sahel skies with advanced radar. Local soldiers trained to use state-of-the-art defense systems. Border security that is coordinated, not fractured. An Africa where foreign bases are replaced by African command centers. The Moscow meeting was only the first step. But history remembers first steps because they lead to destinations that once seemed impossible. So when future generations ask, when did the Sahel truly take control of its defense destiny? We might just point to that table in Moscow and say, it began there. This is the power of unity. This is the rise of the Sahel. This is the making of a new Africa.
Thank you, Africa, Mama Africa.